Open a productivity blog and you'll find endless arguments over routines. Some praise the 5 a.m. wake-up call as if it's a badge of honor. Others swear their deepest work happens while the rest of the world is asleep. Both camps defend their choice like it's a sacred philosophy. But the real question isn't whether mornings or nights are objectively superior. The question is, which rhythm supports your mind, your energy, and your life? Because productivity doesn't belong to the early bird or the midnight thinker. It belongs to the person who aligns habits with their biology. And to understand that, we need to dig deeper than motivational quotes. There's something undeniably powerful about morning. The world is quieter, notifications are fewer, and before the chaos of the day sets in, there's a rare pocket of stillness. Psychologists call this a low interference state, a time when external demands haven't yet flooded the brain. Biologically, mornings give us a head start. Cortisol, often thought of only as the stress hormone, actually plays a crucial role in alertness. It peaks in the first few hours after waking, giving us sharper focus and heightened attention. Think of it as nature's built-in espresso shot. Pair this with the fact that willpower is like a battery most charged in the morning, and you see why mornings feel so productive. There's also the phenomenon of decision primacy. When the day begins, you're standing at the starting line of choices. A workout at 7 a.m. isn't just about exercise. It sets the tone for how you interpret discipline the rest of the day. Psychologists call this positive spillover. One structured choice encourages another, like dominoes falling in sequence. And of course, society practically worships early risers. Our work schedules, school times, and even cultural sayings, the early bird catches the worm, all signal that mornings equal virtue. Post online that you finished a run by sunrise and you'll be showered with admiration. Try the same with just finished writing at 2 a.m. and people will ask if you're okay. But here's the important caveat. Mornings aren't inherently better. For some people, early hours feel like swimming against biology itself. And when a habit is misaligned with your natural rhythm, it breeds resistance, not productivity. Which brings us to the other side of the debate. Evenings offer a different kind of magic, one rooted in reflection and creativity. When the world slows down, the mental noise recedes. Emails stop arriving, meetings end. The brain, freed from constant input, has space to wander. This is fertile ground for creativity. Research on chronotypes, our biological preference for certain times of activity, shows that people with evening tendencies often excel in divergent thinking. When analytical sharpness fades, associative thinking takes over. Connections appear between ideas that seemed unrelated in the harsh clarity of daylight. That's why solutions to stubborn problems often surface at midnight, not in the boardroom at 9 a.m. Evenings also serve as a natural checkpoint. A night routine isn't about doing more. It's about closing loops. Journaling, reviewing the day, or laying out tomorrow's tasks provides psychological closure. Neuroscientists call this offloading working memory. By writing down tasks, you reduce cognitive load and free the brain to rest. And rest is where productivity truly begins. Sleep research consistently shows that quality rest improves everything from memory consolidation to emotional regulation. A strong night routine doesn't just prepare you for sleep, it upgrades your capacity for tomorrow. In this sense, productivity at night is less about output and more about preparation. There's also the pressure difference. Mornings often feel like a race. Get up, get moving, don't waste the day. Evenings are gentler. A reflective journal entry doesn't carry the weight of an entire day's expectations. You can think, plan, or wind down without the invisible clock ticking so loudly. So while mornings shine in clarity, evenings excel in creativity and closure. Neither is superior, they simply serve different purposes. Here's the twist most debates ignore. You don't have to choose. The idea that you must be either a morning person or a night owl is a false binary. Productivity is rarely an either/or equation. It's usually both or and. Hybrid routines are the quiet middle ground where consistency thrives. Imagine ending your day with a short reflection, jotting down 3 key tasks for tomorrow. That single act removes the stress of waking up to an undefined day. Then, in the morning, you start by tackling one of those tasks, before distractions pile up. Evening closure, morning momentum. This loop is powerful because it respects the natural rhythm of effort and recovery. Mornings give you a launch pad, evenings give you recovery, and together they form a self-reinforcing cycle. Instead of fighting your biology, you're working with it. In fact, many of the most sustainable productivity systems aren't extreme, they're balanced. They borrow the focus of morning routines and the reflection of evening rituals, creating a cycle that repeats with minimal friction. At the heart of this debate lies a deeper truth. Productivity is personal biology. Every human carries a chronotype, a natural tendency toward morningness or eveningness. Some people feel most alert at dawn, others at dusk. Neither is defective. What's defective is ignoring your rhythm because a book or influencer told you to. This is why self-tracking matters. Spend a week observing your natural peaks and valleys. When do you feel sharpest? When do you feel sluggish? When does your creativity spike? Track it without judgment, and patterns will emerge. You might discover that your best analytical work happens in the morning, but your best brainstorming happens at night. Or that mornings are your sacred time, while evenings are best reserved for winding down. Once you know your rhythm, routines become less about brute discipline and more about intelligent design. Consistency then becomes the real secret. Whether you choose morning rituals, evening rituals, or both, the brain loves cues. A candle lit before journaling, a playlist before work, even a cup of tea before reflection. These small signals tell the mind it's time to shift. Over time, they reduce resistance. Starting becomes easier, almost automatic. The fight isn't between sunrise and midnight. It's between misalignment and alignment. Productivity doesn't reward the early riser or the night owl. It rewards the person who listens to their energy and designs accordingly. So here's the takeaway. Stop copying someone else's schedule. Instead, build a system that respects your biology. If you thrive at dawn, lean into it. If your clarity arrives after dinner, embrace it. If both have value, design a cycle that borrows from each. To make this practical, try this challenge. Pick one small morning habit and one small evening habit. Keep them simple. Maybe it's 5 minutes of writing at sunrise and 5 minutes of reflection before bed. Repeat them daily for a week. Notice the difference in clarity, focus, and mental energy. Because the truth is, the fight between morning and night is a distraction. The real question is whether your habits match your rhythm. Productivity isn't about forcing yourself into someone else's mold. It's about aligning with your own. And over time, these aligned habits compound. One small routine leads to another, momentum builds, resistance fades, and consistency takes root. The result isn't just a more productive schedule. It's a more sustainable identity. Greatness doesn't belong to early birds or night owls. It belongs to those who design with intention, act with consistency, and align with their own biology. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.